In this video, we are going to go over some more useful tips and tricks to help you with your Blender experience. The first thing I want to show you is an easy way to make a clean selection of your mesh's vertices. If I go into orthographic mode and then pick a particular perspective, like if we click 1 on the number pad, it will take us into the front perspective. And I'll come into edit mode, and now if I drag, I'll make sure I'm in face select mode actually. If I now drag on this selection, you will see it's selected that part of the monkey head, but in a very uniform way as we are in orthographic view. When you select a bunch of geometry, it only selects the geometry that is visible to the camera. As you can see, it has not selected these back parts. But what if we want these selected as well? Well, if we come back into the front view and then go into wireframe mode, we can now select that side of the monkey head, come back into solid mode, and you will see it's selected everything we want. I also mentioned in another video that you can click P with geometry selected to open the separation menu. We can then separate the selection from the mesh to become its own mesh. Now I'm going to select both of these meshes and then hold down Control and then J to join the meshes again. I now want to select this part of the mesh. I could do the same thing as before and go into wireframe mode and then orthographic view and select this side of the mesh. However, there is a key in Blender which allows you to select all of the geometry connected to a specific vertex, edge or face. If I hover my mouse over one of the faces here and press L, it will select all of the geometry connected to that face. This is extremely useful for complex models, and you will probably end up using this a lot. I am now going to create a material for our mesh here. I also want to give this mesh the same material. There is a quicker way to assign a material to another mesh. With our material selected here, if you come to this browser icon, hold down the control button and then left mouse click drag, you can drag the material onto the mesh. You can also heavily customize the Blender user interface to fit your needs. So you could make your own tab up here by clicking this add workspace icon, and then we can select an option that is closest to what we want. So let's select layout, and then we can come up here, double click and rename it. I'll just call it test tab for now. So let's say you don't want to see the timeline down here. You can simply click on this icon and change it to whatever you want. So we could actually make it another 3D viewport. And now we can view our scene from different perspectives. You can also change these other areas by coming to their header icons. So here, for example, I could make this a UV editor, and I could change this to a video sequencer. But you can do even more than that. What if you wanted to add more sections? For example, what if I wanted to go overkill and have 4 3D viewports? If you go to the corner of the window, you will notice that our mouse cursor becomes a crosshair. And you can do this on any corner. So bottom left, crosshair, top right, crosshair, bottom right, crosshair, etc. With the crosshair showing, if you left click and drag, you will bring out another window. So we could do the same here as well. Now, if we close Blender down, we will lose all of these changes. So what if you wanted all these changes to be kept for next time? Well, to save them, come to File, Defaults, and Save Startup File, and then click Save Startup File again. If we close Blender, and then reopen it, you will see that it's kept everything that we've done. However, what if we now want to reset everything back to normal? Again, come to File, Defaults, Load Factory Settings, and then back to File, Defaults, and Save Startup File. So again, if we close Blender and reopen it, it's all back to normal. So you may want to spend a good bit of time customizing Blender to be the way you want it, something that suits your experience and workflow better. There are also plenty of other more general changes you can make to Blender by coming to Edit and then Preferences. For example, you can come to System and change the number of undo steps that Blender has. What this basically means is if we wanted to undo our changes in a scene, it will only do it 32 times. So you can bring this up so there's more undo steps. You can also change the themes of Blender by coming here to Themes, or you can change the style of the text in any way you want it. So for example, I could come to Regular, click on Text, I could change this to red, and as you see on the corner of our screen here, it's changed some of the text to red. And this is what my Blender looks like after playing around with the various options. So anyway, that's it for this video. I thought it would be good to show you guys this, as I find that customizing the software you work in is very important, as you can essentially design it to be the way you want it and the way you feel more comfortable working with. In the next video, we are going to start working on our intermediate tutorial series project.